So we haven't talked about this guy in a little while, but I thought that this would be a really interesting time to touch back on him again and touch base with a very good friend of ours. His name is Jesse Lee Peterson. He also goes by JLP. He's been around for a long time. He's done amazing interviews of Vosh and Destiny and David Pakman and a bunch of other people as well. You know, he's the guy. Amazing. Everybody knows that. Really interesting boy, right? Very interesting boy indeed. Last time I talked about JLP, he had a little bit of an issue, okay? He was in a little bit of a kerfuffle with a bunch of people online because he liked something incredibly interesting back in the day. And when I say incredibly interesting, what I mean was he liked a video of a man blowing another man's back out as he bent him over a kitchen countertop on his main account, okay? Now, he claimed that he did not actually like that video because he did not actually have access to the Twitter because he doesn't know how to use Twitter. He has a bunch of other people who manage his Twitter account. He doesn't manage his Twitter account. Other people manage his Twitter account. So I have no clue how that like got on there. Right after people pointed it out, and then it went back, and then the account unliked it and everything, and everybody was like, I don't know. No, we never got a real answer about who liked the gay erotica on JLP's account. We never got a real answer to that, but it seems like we may have a real answer now because JLP has recently been accused by a church pastor that he's been beefing with for a little while that he has been credibly exposed as a homosexual super predator by the organization from Michigan. 21 Studios has officially severing all ties with JLP effective immediately. So the manosphere, the pro-patriarchy, anti-feminist, Trump-supporting, a white nationalist crowd has finally decided to cut ties with JLP because he is as they called it, homosexual super predator. Not even normal predator, okay? Super predator. He is gay Palpatine, basically, if you think about it. How do you beef with a pastor? They really don't like each other. This guy's been calling JLP like a fake Christian. JLP was like mumbling for a little while and everything. He doesn't, they really don't, they're not friends, okay? They're not friends. Now, JLP has like a long history with like us in this community. And while I don't like him and everything, he's always been an interesting character to me. To let you know, because some of you all may not have seen this before. Back in the day, so JLP keeps around interesting friends and everything, right? You're like, why would they do this to him? They're supposed to be like his friends or whatever. So back in the day, this is how JLP's friends treat him, okay? A friend of mine gave me this cotton picking sack, proud of my roots. And so this is unironically that they just had laying around a slave cotton picking bag, and they gave it to him because they thought he could get great use out of it. They thought he'd really enjoy it. And he put it on and he's like, whoa, this cotton picking bag is so cool. Whoa, what a great present. I'm not lying to you. This is a real cotton picking bag that a real slave was forced to wear and work in. And he's just standing there smiling. Woo, so cool. He doesn't think much about black people. It's not like this like surprised me or anything really. It's called a retro fashion. Yeah, it is true. He is on that retro fashion grind. You're right. Hey, I mean, people said that they liked classics. Okay. Here's him speaking to a good friend of the stream, John Doyle. You guys know Doyle. There's a recent interview that he had with Doyle. A little excerpt from that.
I used to think that when they used that word, white supremacy, it was a negative word. But now I realize what they're thinking is that, and it's true, by the way, that white men are smarter than them, superior to them. And
when he says them, he means black people and black people who like disagree, black people who think that like racism is real, white supremacy is real, right? And Doyle has to, and just take a look at Doyle's face through this. He has to like hold in his laughter because he thinks it's so funny that he's got this guy to basically like do his talking points for him and not like have to even moderate what he has to say.
And instead of learning, oh, hey, how did you become so superior? They want to destroy it so that they won't be reminded how dumb they are. And so they're dumbing everybody and everything down rather than coming up to the level of white supremacy.
So it's not like, so this guy isn't very smart. I hope that we've been able to Piece that together now. Sad. It's pretty sad, I gotta say. With that being said, let's hit back onto this, okay? The predation of hurt, wounded men is something I have absolutely zero tolerance for. This is the level of sick, twisted fraud even from Jack Murphy or Rollo Tomasi have risen to. These revelations are deeply shocking, disgusting, and horrifying. As far as I'm concerned, and based on the evidence provided by Church Militant. So this is the group this is the Catholic Church and the group that's like doing these takedowns of JOP. Reverend JOP is a total fraud, genuine cult leader, groomer of men, and sexual predator. JOP has been using the name of religion of Jesus Christ to brainwash men and fuck them in the butt. No! No, dude. He gets close. He finds them, gets close to them, and then fucks them in the butt. No, anything but the butt. He puts it in their butt. You deserve all that and worse. Holy shit. That's horrifying. That's horrible. I couldn't possibly imagine. If I'm going to be completely honest with you. That's so sad. He fucks them in the butt. Oh my gosh. Okay, wait a second. This is incredible, right? This is all great. I love this. I love everything about this, okay? Yeah, he's putting the hole in holy. Oh no, dude. All right, so listen to this. Bring it back in. There was also this article that was written a couple of days ago. You can take a look at this. Surviving Jesse Lee Peterson, top black Republican accused of sexually assaulting men. I love how they write this where it's like men, okay? Because listen, if he was just doing what was if he was just being normal, as in sexually assaulting women, as you do, then they'd be like, oh, okay, he's one of us. But now that he's sexually assaulting men, now they're like, yo, there's something wrong here. I can forgive sexually assaulting women, but men, that's a step too far, Jesse. We're gonna have to cut all ties. It's over. JOP, the outspoken black Republican whose anti-black and anti-LGBTQ plus rhetoric can be found all over YouTube, has been hit with a scandal. Media Takeout learned that 4 men are claiming that Jesse sexually harassed or assaulted them. They're talking publicly in a new documentary, preliminarily entitled Surviving Jesse Lee Peterson. In the new video, 4 men claim that they were propositioned by or assaulted by Jesse, who is an outspoken homophobe. Conservative icon JLP, alleged homo predator. I love the term homo predator because like before he was just like, whatever. He's just a normal dude. But now that he's turned himself into a homo predator, this is when shit starts to all fall apart. He called Nobel Peace Prize winner Nelson Mandela an evil man and said that South Africa was better off under apartheid. That is true. He did say that. And the Great White Hope. He did call Donald Trump the Great White Hope. And his opinions on the LGBT matters are just horrible. I mean, that's true. He once said that gay couples and parenting, these people are not mentally capable of handling the stress of raising children because of the situation itself is not normal. So I just have a question for everybody in chat. Do you think that this guy looks like a guy who's smart enough and capable enough to take care and raise children? Do you think that? Because personally, I'm a little on the fence about it, just looking at him. But, a lot of people, they see different things in different people. And before we get too started, okay, he's been confronted about this once. On stream. And here's what happened.
Michelle, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hi, how are you today?
All this well, Michelle. Thanks for calling.
I had a question. I'm just kind of confused. Why haven't you addressed the issue of the gay documentary?
It's not concerning to me.
It's not concerning to him because he's too busy being concerned with some femboy pussy. Ain't that right? He's gonna go spelunking in that chocolate cave. My man, he's busy.
She said she was a liberal. She was having doubts. She lied. What a wicked woman.
So he does hate women as well. Oh, and just so you know, that clip has now been deleted from his YouTube channel. The clip is unavailable. If it was deleted, or the video based on it was removed or edited. So it's gone. They removed it from the live stream that they did. Curious. So it is concerning. Yeah, it does seem like it is a little bit concerning, the fact that they wanted to remove any reference to it whatsoever, right? Quite odd, quite strange if it's not concerning. But we can get into actually watching what this so-called documentary is. What it really is, what it really says, and what it means for JLP. Hey buddy, nice to see you. Yeah? He wants to come up. You want to see if JLP is a homo predator? A super homo predator? Oh man. Are you guys ready to see what JLP's been up to? Amazing Disgrace, the special assignment.
You may talk about the men of Gideon, talk about the men of Saul. Don't like the good old Joshua, battle of Jericho, that moment, so she fixed the battle of Jericho, Jericho, Lord, Jericho.
I'm still shocked that he had both songs.
I'm changed, and I don't have any skeleton in my closet.
You're saying
from
that
the
you're
point that I
100%
changed.
saint now?
I'm not saying that I'm a saint, but I don't do those things.
In the early 1990s, Reverend Jesse Lee Peterson began his ministry as a student of Roy Masters, a British-born talk radio personality and hypnotist.
Oh, so that's what's wrong with him. He trained under a British person. So that's what happened.
Peterson and Masters promoted a similar system of meditation and theology, a system that includes rejecting the Holy Trinity and our blessed Lord's divinity.
You blame things that you do, nobody else. No.
But thanks to the feckless and spiritually absent bishops, Jesse's theological errors didn't keep him from gaining tens of thousands of Catholic and patriotic followers. Jesse's draw for conservatives was his commentary against the Marxist group Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter, radical, so-called social justice warriors. They were chanting, what do we want? Dead cops. When do we want it now? Pigs in the blanket, fry them like bacon. And people went out and started killing.
Man, that's crazy stuff to say. Never said stuff like that in my entire life. CW, before we see another British person, I'm sorry. I'll make sure to hit you up next time.
Cops and everything.
Exploiting many angry American men's desires for a stable family life, Jesse would directly call
Desires for... Dude, I'm sorry. You doing a bunch of like right-wing crazy stuff like this is not getting you a stable family life, okay? Women don't want to be with you when you act like this. They don't. If you listen to Jesse Lee Peterson and she finds out, she is gone and she will instantly disappear.
out feminists for their role in destroying the family as well.
Sexism is a made-up lie, and it's been made up by women who hate men, who hate the family, who hate the unborn child.
The 73-year-old even visited the Church Militant studio in March, when senior executive producer Michael Voris answered his questions about Catholicism.
I love that, because he doesn't believe in isms. I'm not sure if you guys know that, but he thinks that all isms are fake.
Did Jesus just rise from the dead in spirit,
But
or did his body come out also?
He was, maybe his body counter, but I know.
Well, that's a big deal.
He rose in the spirit. That's what.
No, he rose
let me
in
tell
the
you
body.
Why I want to make that.
But he rose in the body. You can't say he didn't walk out of the tomb on Sunday.
And from what we knew at the time, Jesse was an ardent opponent of homosexuality in and outside the church.
Wait, this is the guy? This is the guy? Church Militant? Oh my goodness. Look at this guy. This guy looks like he looks like the cleaned up version of like the deadbeat brother in like a rom-com. You know what I mean?
And presented himself as such.
The spirit of homosexuality is of their father, the devil. It's not them, the person. It's the spirit that made a home in them. And it came from them overreacting to some sort of a situation in life, whether it's from someone messing with them when they were kids, or overreacting to an angry mother, because you become like what you hate.
But shortly after the March interview, friends of his
You heard it here first. If your mom was mean to you when you were a kid, that means that you will grow up to be gay, because you become what you hate. And since your mom took pee-pee in her booty, that means you will now take pee-pee in your booty. Many people are saying this.
came to us with a different story. These stories first came to light when Jesse's former co-host and alleged decade-long gay lover exposed him. 61-year-old
Oh, no.
Patrick Rooney has known Jesse for nearly 30 years, dating back to roughly 1992.
They've been
Everybody know
fucking
Patrick
since
Rooney.
92?
One of the smartest white men on this side of heaven.
The two were so close that Jesse was the minister at his wedding and the pastor at his baptism, long before Rooney claimed any homosexual activities began.
Right around that time, I also had started a TV show. I was doing a public access TV show in LA, and with a friend of mine who had gotten off heroin.
You're right. You become what you hate. So he hated gay people, so he became one. Oh my gosh, it's true.
He asked me to be involved in the show to help other people get off
It's
drugs
true.
and things like that. So we started the show, and one of our first guests was Jesse and another gentleman from Bond. So we did a couple shows with them. And from that time forward, right after the show happened, Jesse and I talked in the green room, backstage. And right off the bat, he started asking me stuff. Jesse's very forward with his questioning and things like that. So he actually asked me right after that show, are you gay?
Rooney's characterization shows that Jesse allegedly used similar grooming tactics as other homo predators, like Saginaw priest Father Robert DeLand, who asked similar questions when preying on a young man in 2017.
To discover that you have some gay tendencies is a fine thing, because then you don't have to be so confused.
Right.
Do you feel less confused?
Yeah.
After Jesse discovered
Hello, little one. You do not have to be afraid in front of me. Do you feel confused, little one? Come here. Oh no. Yeah, they talked. Other homo predators. Just so you know, so if you don't know, the reason why they're saying homo predators is because they're taking the same line that Matt Walsh did. What they want to do is differentiate between like the predators in the church and separate themselves from them, because a lot of the child predators and sexual predators that are part of a lot of these people's churches prey on a lot of young boys. So they're saying that, oh, they're not preying on these young boys because they're just young and they have like pedophilic tendencies. They're doing it because they're gay. If they weren't gay, this wouldn't happen, because straight pedophiles don't try to have sex with boy children. They only try to have sex with girl children, and then only gay pedophiles try to have sex with boy children. That's unironically how they think it works. Just so you know, it's not true. It's been researched before. People who with pedophilic tendencies, they just like kids. It's not like, it doesn't matter like what their like gender or sex is a lot of the time. Actually, most of the time. What matters is like who they have access to. And since, the church is filled with a lot of boys, well, guess what? They have a lot of access to boys. They really don't differentiate. But the reason why he wants to say homo predator is just to stick on that homo thing and say like, they weren't actually a part of the church. They just like snuck in because they were like gay. Because like our real members, they're not gay.
discovered Rooney's same-sex attraction, his relationship with Jesse was taken to the next level. Bit by bit, Jesse began edging him closer and closer to sin.
He was edging him? What the heck?
Once he moved up there to do the show, we stayed in the same house. Jesse would kind of do some things, kind of horseplay and stuff like that with me. And at times he would do stuff where he would like grab me and then we'd kind of wrestle around a little bit. And then I'd feel his, private parts against me. And he did that more than once. So it wasn't like an accidental thing. He would kind of do it. And then I even mentioned it like, what's that or whatever. And he would kind of play around. And
so we do a little bit of horseplay. He grabbed me. He grabbed my thick cheeks and then pressed his rock hard cock in his pants against my booty hole. And I'd be like, oh, what's that? And he was like, I don't know. Just straight guy things. Yeah, straight boy things. You know how it is.
Joke about it.
Fast forward to 2005, and Jesse was ready to make his final move.
We did a conference with them called Moral Reconstruction, which is kind of ironic now that we're sitting here talking about something else. It's called Moral Reconstruction. We did that. That first conference was, I believe, in 2005, and we did a follow-up conference in 2006 with them as well. And I went with Jesse to Washington, D.C. For this conference. I was a fundraiser at the time.
The music really ties it together. Oh yeah, he's going like straight like LA noir type, I did all this research, look what happened type thing on it. It's really funny. I love watching conservatives bash each other's heads in. It is probably one of my most favorite pastimes. So we did naked oil wrestling in a little kiddie pool full of canola oil every Tuesday.
And so we did fundraising. I was part of the conference. While we were at the conference, we stayed in Virginia, near DC. So we were sitting on the bed together, and all of a sudden he turned to me, just looked at me, and he said, "What do you want to do? What do you want to do?" And he said it in a tone that was really insistent. And I'd never seen this tone for him before. It was like kind of scary. It kind of scared me. Like what? What do you want to do?
Damn, he loves a big dominant boy. What do you want to do? He was like, oh my gosh, loin's wet. He was so forceful.
I knew what he meant.
Big and strong.
And then I told him, okay. And at first I'm scared, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm playing along here. It kind of threw me off my game, I guess, in a way. I think later I realized that's kind of something that people do sometimes. It's like the devil works in a certain way by intimidating you. It throws you off your normal game. And so he said, what do you want to do? And I was like, okay, I'm scared. And then I told him what I want to do. I mentioned sex acts, that he knew about, that I had already talked to him about, that I was interested in.
Wait, so the first story wasn't like him, wasn't Jesse like outwardly saying sex acts? It was, let's do sex. It was him saying that he wanted to do sex? Which one was the Rittenhouse stuff? The one right before this one. It was that one, Stinky. He knows what he wants, I guess. Yeah, it seemed like he's the one who initiated. Andy's saying like he talked about it before. It seemed like he was the one who initiated the gay booty sex. He raped me, but only after I gave consent. and kept the consent up. Dude, is this like, can you imagine if this turns into like one of those things where it's like you didn't revoke consent, you just like feel like you didn't like the scenario afterwards, you felt bad, you felt guilty, so now you want to like retroactively say, oh, he was like forcing me into it, even though I talked about like having sex with him before, and I said now that I would like to have sex with him now. So as a gay man, I know homosexual super predators. I see that.
And next thing you know, he's ripping his clothes off and coming at me basically. And I did the same, took my clothes off. And next thing you know, we're fully at it, having, not getting into detail here, but basically full-on sexual acts.
Rooney's recollections show that Jesse mirrored DeLan's sexual advances almost identically.
I love you. Love you too. I know. What are we gonna do?
Oh no. Oh geez. Wait, so what I gotta know, we were having full-on gay sexual activity. Who was the bottom? Because if I'm gonna be honest with you, if it turns out that he was the bottom, I'm starting to think that a lot of this is that he's just really upset that he let Jesse put his dick in his butt. I just feel regret that I got my back blown out by Jesse and liked it. So now I have to like do something to regain my honor by like outing him. Jesse gives switch vibes. Jesse definitely likes his butthole tongue. The burrito story? Oh no. Yeah, he's just mad that he's a bottom. Dude, imagine that kind of dirty talk JLP throws around. So I got a great white hope for you. Come here, boy. Show me how superior those jeans are. They can't be that good because I was able to rip through them. He's like, oh, Jesse, you're so strong. You're so forward. Just how breedable are you? It seemed like this guy it seemed like he's quite fertile and breedable. That's so sad. Poor baby.
After we had just done the first sexual act, and then ever since then, he told me that once we did this, I was born again. This sounds crazy, but this is the absolute truth. He said that I was born again. He would remind me of that through the years.
Following being born again, Rooney contends that his sodomitic relationship with Peterson went on for roughly 10 years.
10 years? What? You're not friends anymore, you're boyfriends. 10 years? What? He was born again? Yeah, he baptized him in cum. He dunked him in. Oh my goodness. Yeah, you're not just like partners, you're dating. If that point, if you 10 years of getting your back blown out, 10 years of eating Jesse cum, you're like, I can't believe this. Yeah, honey, you were in a relationship. Butt stuff for 10 years is marriage. To honestly, like, come on. If this happened once, I would be like, okay, I understand. 10 years, like at minimum, like twice a week or something, dude. You assaulted me for 10 years. Yeah, listen. He assaulted me for 10 years. We went on dates and he bought me really cute little knee-high socks, and they were really nice. And he'd buy me panties only for when he got his big masculine hands on them to rip the panties off of my butt. I can't believe this. Yeah, I'm surprised. Yeah, like 10 whole years and he didn't get boy pregnant. That's so, I mean, at least they're safe, right?
Until Rooney decided to come clean to his wife and son.
My son was really angry. My son was mostly angry at me.
You had a wife and son and you were fucking JLP for 10 years? Honestly, I'd be more upset that you were fucking JLP than the fact that you were just cheating, if I'm going to be honest with you. And yeah, like your son should be angry with you. He should be very angry with you. Why are you ruining his life and his family for JLP? Really? For JLP? Dad, you're a bottom?
Because he had Jesse on such a pedestal. My son had Jesse on such a pedestal, he literally thought Jesse could walk on water. We got on a phone call.
What?
We talked to Jesse. And as soon as we brought it up with my son on the phone call, Jesse denied it. And I said, Jesse, you're a liar. You're lying. You know this. You know you're lying. And he finally came out and admitted to my son that he did that.
Rooney later moved to Florida.
Why to his son? His son's crying and throwing up. His wife is angrily pacing, just confused. He's like, "Don't worry, guys. I'll make this better." He opens up his phone. It's like honey bun or something in there, and then he loads it up and he was like, "Bring, bring. Hello? Babe, Jesse, you're on speakerphone. Come clean to my son. Tell them what you did to me. Tell my son that you told me that you were going to impregnate my boy cervix. Jesse, stop lying. You're a liar, Jesse. You're a liar. Tell them that you tickled my prostate. Tell them. Tell him. He loves you. He thinks you can walk on water. But we're all drowning in cum, Jesse. Come clean." Like, what's happening? This is insanity. Did they do race play? I think that they did race play. I 100% believe that they did race play, and they have a whip. He had no shirt on. He had the cotton picking bag and like on his hip, and he takes the pillows beforehand. He took the pillow and took all the cotton out of the pillow and just strewed it across the floor. And then Jesse's walking around hunched over, like picking up the cotton off of the ground and putting it in the sack. While this guy has the whip and he's like, "Gah, get back to work, boy. Gah! Don't you start. I'll give you something to cry about. I tell you what." Whoosh, wah, you know. Oh no, don't whip me, massa. It's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. It's horrible. Horrific, actually. But then Jesse overpowers him. He overpowers him, and it's like a slave revolt. And then he throws him on the bed, and he's like, I've waited a long time to get the come up on you, and now you'll know what hard work really looks like." And then he blows his fucking back out under the Confederate flag that's like nailed to the ceiling. It is far worse than a foot fetish, I will say. This is the worst fanfic. Ah, that's true.
To get away from Jesse. But according to Rooney, Jesse couldn't handle the relationship ending, offering him several bribes to get him back to LA. It's typical for homo predators to try and cover their tracks using a cornucopia of strategies to shut people up. In the case of Father DeLand, it was now deceased Saginaw Bishop Joseph Sistone, who remained silent on DeLand's abuse for years. While serving as an auxiliary bishop in Philadelphia in 1994, Sistone allegedly watched as documents containing names of up to 64 suspected sex abusers were shredded, earning him the nickname.
Yeah, Jesse flips him over and holds him face down on the bed. "I'll show you how to plow fields." Oh no. Come back, I miss your cotton-colored hole. Cotton mouth. Yeah, he gave that boy cotton mouth, all right. Shark, why are you like this? What are you talking about? Awful, horrible. They should have gotten married, it's true. Much cuter story.
Nickname Bishop Shredder among the U.S. bishops. According to Rooney, for Jesse and those loyal to him, the strategy was to bully and silence all victims and witnesses speaking up.
Jesse did throw me under the bus, basically, and other people that did anything like that, and still does. If anybody comes up with it, they'll keep anybody off the air.
You're talking about other victims?
Well, yeah, other victims. And he'll make sure that if anybody talks about these things, calls up his show or does anything like that, they were not going to get
Did he say Bishop Shredder? Wait, I need to hear that again. Now that you said it.
Documents containing names of up to 64 suspected sex abusers were shredded, earning him the nickname Bishop Shredder among the U.S. bishops.
They called him they named him after like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle supervillain. They called him Bishop Shredder. It's Shredder. It's Shredder's revenge. It is Shredder's revenge. From the grave, dude. Fucking Shredder's revenge. He's here.
Bishops. According to Rooney, for Jesse and those loyal to him, the strategy was to bully and silence all victims and witnesses speaking up.
Jesse did throw me under the bus, basically, and other people that did anything like that, and still does. If anybody comes up with it, they'll keep anybody off the air.
You're talking about other.
Oh, he's stuck under the bus? Oh no, he's stuck under the bus? His like front half is like, he's under the Jesse threw him and now his front half is stuck under the bus and he's like, oh my gosh, help, Jesse, help, I'm stuck. Reverend, please help. You need to help me. I can't help myself. I'm so stuck. I need you. And he's like, I can help. Oh, what's that? Whoa. Oh, help me, step reverend. Please.
Like that. It's pretty rotten thing to do.
Beginning last November, Rooney began writing a collection of blog posts hinting at Jesse's predation.
Sexual molestation. When all goes silent after disclosing sexual crime. Dude, you didn't disclose a sexual crime. You disclosed the fact that you had a 10-year-long booty sex relationship with a 60-year-old man. That's not a crime. And honestly, I don't even know if this is like, if anything here is, I just don't know how manipulative it was. Oh my gosh, you're right, Hake! Is Jesse fucking Hake? Has Jesse been like having sex with Hake for even longer, and that's why he sounds like that? That's why they spend so much time together. That's why he took so much of his cadence. Is Jesse grooming Hake? Is everybody around Jesse a bottom? He's collected little troubled bottom boys, and he has a little boy harem, and he gets them all boy preggers. He found a new white bottom.
Leading him to a shocking discovery.
After I published these articles, I found out from a young man, a very credible young man, that Jesse was fooling around with this young man.
That young man was 30-year-old Samuel Arambula, a more recent member of Bond.
Young man? How old is your crew? That 30 years old is young man. I'm not saying that you're old when you're 30. You're a real adult.
I started going to Bond around May 2020. This was during the coronavirus lockdowns, everything. As soon as they opened back, they were doing live.
What is this cast of characters? What the heck is happening? Holy crap. These guys look like they're from like a Mirror World barbershop quartet. You know what? They look like they were a barbershop quartet in Old Yarnum. Like, what's happening? What's going on here? Yeah, JOP's boy toys. Yeah, a lot of real young men here, I see. Why won't anybody think of the 30-year-old children?
Broadcasted no in-person church for like 2 months or 2 weeks or something like that. But as soon as it opened up, I went. That was May 2020. Jesse, what he likes to do in the church is he goes around first-timers. He goes around first-timers and says, introduce yourself, what's your name? You know, how'd you find us? Where are you here? The first thing I said, my name is Samuel, and I'm here because, you know, you helped me a lot. I went.
Yeah, 18-year-old woman assaulted by 30-year-old boy.
Forgave my mom. I wouldn't forget my dad. I had a lot of anger, and I just dropped that, and I feel way better now. I'm really, you know, growing, and I want to thank you for it.
Among him are 3 other alleged witnesses and victims who also chose to tell their stories. Samuel began his relationship with Jesse professionally, washing cars for him and doing other cleaning work at what they call the bondhouse.
The bondhouse? He has a sex dungeon? He has a cum house? Do they all like walk around in maid dresses to help him out? Yeah, he brings them to the bussy abode to take care of them. Oh yeah, it's full of James Bond memorabilia. That's why it's called the bondhouse. No other bonding that they do.
The bondhouse is where Jesse and several of his male staff currently live. And when Samuel began opening up to Jesse about his past, things got personal.
I was molested as a boy, so I was like, Jesse, what do I do? Like, this is weighing heavy on me. What should I do? He said, forgive him, it's in the past. Our relationship progressed slowly, closer and closer. I didn't suspect anything weird of it. There were certain times where he began hugging me where I was like, whoa, I've never been hugged by a man. Like, what was this?
For this guy, if his story's true, with the whole, like, you know, he was abused when he was younger and he came to Jesse for genuine help, and then Jesse unironically, you know, unironically isn't the right word to use here. And Jesse, like, seriously took advantage of him and used him for sexual favors when what he really needed was some, like, emotional support. Like, that's pretty fucked up in and of itself. Without, like, the whole, like, gay stuff. Just the infidelity is, like, the bad part. And the lying to your family is the bad part. And also the taking advantage of like abused people, like sexual gains. That's the pretty hacked up part too. Hugging somebody, I don't think that's too crazy. That's just me though.
But I was like, he would just tell me like, you know, I just love you. So I'm like, okay, I get you, you know, I love you too.
But much like with Patrick Rooney, Samuel states things went from casually close to mortally sinful.
So Friday afternoon, evening, I go to Jesse's house and I am sitting in his couch, relaxing. You know, I'm kind of avoiding the LA traffic at the peak hour. So it's a good deal, and I get to stay somewhere with someone that I respect, friend. So then by this point, we're already real comfortable with like hugging and all that stuff, you know, just hugging for long periods of time. I thought nothing weird of it. I guess my guard had already been let down completely.
Hugging for a long time, bud, there's a word for that. It's called cuddling. Okay, so you were cuddling with Jesse Lee Peterson. Good to know. I hate that imagery, but okay then.
I'm sitting on his couch. He kneels down in front of me, and then he wraps himself around his arms around my waist. And I'm like, okay, this is kind of weird, but
wait, what?
My guard had already been let down completely. So I'm sitting on his couch. He kneels down in front of me, and then he wraps himself around his arms around my waist. And I'm like, okay, this is kind of weird, but I'm like, Jesse, why are you doing that? He's like, I just love you so much. And I'm like, okay, I guess. I was just like this. So then he starts rubbing my thighs, and I'm like, okay, what is he doing? Like, it's kind of crazy. And then he starts rubbing my genital area, and I'm like, what's happening right now? And then he pulls down my pants, and then I'm like, I'm shocked. I'm not saying anything. I'm like, my face is like, whoa, what the hell is happening right now?
From there, Jesse instructed Samuel to go into his so-called meditation called the silent prayer.
And he's like, doubt all thoughts. All thoughts are lies. Everything Satan is telling you is a lie. And I'm like, okay. But inside it's telling me, hey, this is not good. What are you doing? What are you allowing him to do?
If it's true, this part is sexual assault, I think.
Jesse abusing the supposed meditative state, trying to convince Samuel to ignore the traumatic sexual experience occurring.
It went on for a few minutes. He would get up, walk away. I could hear him. I couldn't see him. Get up. He would get up, walk away. I could hear him get up, walk away, touch it, get up, walk away, touch it. And I was like, what the hell's going on? So then I opened my eyes, and then I'm like, what just happened?
Another alleged victim was Trayvon Chapman, who in 2015 told his friend, now 43-year-old Armand Martikian, that Jesse molested him.
Well, the first thing came out of his mouth, that Jesse's homosexual. And I say, you can't be saying this, like he's all against it. He's a, straight conservative man who, this is like, what you're saying is bizarre, it doesn't make sense. But at the same time, it kind of struck me as a truth. What this guy was saying, he was explaining the incidents, like certain acts that they would do. They had some nicknames. Jesse had nicknames for say, instead of telling what the act is, he named it oral massage, according to Trayvon.
Armand tried to...
Did he say oral massage? What? He did. He said oral massage. Blowjobs? Is that what that is? It's a blowjob. That's what that is. Oral massage? Dog, what you're explaining is a blowjob.
What this guy was saying, he was explaining the incidents, like certain acts that they would do. They had some nicknames. Jesse had nicknames for say, instead of telling what the act is, he named it oral massage, according to Trayvon.
Armand tried to tell Jesse what Trayvon said, and he just dismissed it.
I went to Jesse. I said, Jesse, I bumped into Trayvon, and he was talking bad things about you. The moment I said that, his first response was, oh, he's on drugs. When he said he's on drugs, shivers went down my spine, like, uh-oh, aren't you gonna ask what he said about me?
Trayvon has since disappeared. None of the men have any idea of his current whereabouts.
He just disappeared? What the fuck? JLP with DSLs. Stop. We all belong in prison. And far away from each other. Actually fucked up. This is the part where it's like actual, honestly, I would even consider this a form of sexual grooming. Like of not like conservative ideas of grooming, which is you like tell people things that they don't like. Actual grooming, as in you take advantage of like people who you who rely on you to have sex with them. This is genuine actual grooming. Holy head, prayer, prostate, communion. Good Lord.
And then I had a flashback. Back in the day, it was such an insignificant thing that it never stayed in my memory, but for some reason, the flashback had when I was in a private counseling, he kind of gestured me, let me see down there, pointing at my, referring to my, down there as in my privates. Not knowing what was about, I'm at very late teens at that moment, like kind of got tricked into it, pulled my pants forward where he kind of looked at it, but at the same time, I'm thinking like, maybe he's trying to see if I'm shy, he's trying to help me overcome shyness, because
nobody. Take those pants on, let me see that dick. And he's like, maybe this is a test to see if I'm really shy, so I overcome my shyness. Yeah, listen, I can be a little shy sometimes down there too. I'm a grower, not a shower. I feel you, bud. It's okay.
Later, I looked back, thought that the fact that I said if somebody sees us, they're gonna think we're gay, he kind of probably thought that, okay, he's too aware, I'm not gonna advance any longer.
Former bondhouse manager, 50-year-old Robert Santner, alleges he witnessed similarly strange behavior in 2021 between Jesse and current Bond producer James Hake.
What I witnessed.
No, Hake! Wait! Hake! No! He is fucking Hake! Holy shit! We've spoken to Hake. Is that what's wrong with Hake? He had his root chakra destroyed. Okay, so here are your chakras, all right? Here are all of your really important chakras. The most important chakra is the one that's in the prostate here, okay? Your root chakra. Hake's ungrounded because his root chakra has been ground to dust, committing him to eternal right-wing homo predator activity forever. The rest of his chakras are gone. The root chakra has been destroyed.
Him and Jesse were hugging each other intensely, rubbing each other's shoulder down.
Once
stuff,
again,
and it came to the point where I actually saw him kissing him on the cheek.
Yeah,
kissing him on the cheek and stuff, on the hallway, and talking all kinds. I can't remember what the words he said, but there were a lot of giggling in the hallway in his James' room. And then there was even one time that just really shocked the living hell out of me. Is I went to the took the laundry out, and then when I got out, and there was a door open in Jesse's room, and there I saw Jesse was sitting in the bed, and while James Hake was wrapped around bed sheets, completely around like a burrito with his head sticking out, and Jesse was like embracing him, hugging him and stuff, and then kissing him on the forehead, and I was like, "Hey, are you all right?"
Hake, to this day.
Not the Hake burrito. Okay, so what they've explained, sure, I guess with everything else, it makes it seem like they were like doing crazy stuff. Can two boys not like just hang out and roll each other into burritos? If I was hanging out with my boys, I'd love to roll one of them into a burrito. That sounds really fun. You take them and you're like, "What you doing here, boy?" You get them all over, you roll them up, and their heads sticking out, and they're like, "Whoa, I'm a burrito." And then you can like pick them up and you can take them places. It's pretty fun. If you've never made your boy into a burrito, I'd tell you to give it a try. It's more fun than you may even think. Shark is allowed to roll me up as I'll roll some of you guys up in a burrito. I'll do it. I'll say that you did a really good job and I'm proud of you after I'm done, okay? Mostly because I'm grooming you for a gay homo butt sex. I was a little concerned when you guys said the Hake burrito. I was very scared about what the Hake burrito could be. I mean, like, they could just be, you know, having some fun. They're giggling. And then you rolled me into a burrito. The idea that Hake and Jesse are burritoing each other in the little boy Bussy Bond Ranch, that's hilarious. I'm not going to lie. That is really funny.
Is an ardent defender of Jesse and his ministry, essentially helping him ostracize all the men accusing Jesse of homo predation. Santner also described an incident where Jesse attempted grooming him to see if he was a homosexual.
Like there was one night, okay, I was all by myself. It was like late at night after I came home from work. I was in the kitchen, you know, doing my own thing and stuff. And then suddenly there was Jesse appeared on the doorway, leaning against the doorway with his hand underneath his underpants. And he was like slowly massaging himself and was giving me a look. And I turned around and says, What
are they watching? JLP jump scare. He appeared in the doorway. Poof! There he was, hand gripping his thick hog under his pants. POV when Jesse tells you to take the Hake burrito. Oh no. Are you a homosexual?
What the heck are you doing? And he was like giving me a smile and giggle and stuff, and then walked away.
He's a demon. What the fuck? What? And then he giggled and moonwalked away. And then and I was shocked. I was confuzzled. I was discombobulated. I was scared. He giggled his way down the hallway. Shark versus JLP, who blows out more backs. So here's the thing, okay? I am not a slut. No matter what Merrick will tell you, do not listen to Merrick. Many women are duplicitous. Don't listen to Merrick. I am not a slut.
Another witness is Martin Francis, who's largely been leading the charge against Jesse's purported homo predation. He describes himself as one of Jesse's best friends. You may recognize Francis from a video
he was hit with a ketchup bottle.
Jesse arguing with a Univision reporter at a Prop 187 rally in Los Angeles in 1996, a rally opposing the flood of illegal aliens entering the state.
Are you all right?
Are you okay? Oh, I'm feeling better than ever.
Are you all right?
Yes, I'm all right.
Are you racist?
Am I what?
What are you think of these people now? Why? Why you stay here?
Are you racist? Am I racist?
Yeah.
No, I'm not a racist. Why do you ask that?
But since learning of Jesse's dark secret,
So apparently, so he's just sitting here with, you know, like ketchup on his forehead, walking around in 1996 with Jesse. I love that woman. I also love this woman. She's pretty sick. Look at the
Francis is let.
No, wait. Look at the look that she gave him when he said he wasn't racist. She's like, huh, really?
Francis has led several protests against Peterson's homosexuality outside of the Bond studio. Jesse was confronted by him several times this year.
Wait, he was protesting? He was doing a picket line against Jesse? See, the wild thing here is they're attacking him for being supposedly gay, but not attacking him for the actual issue, which is like taking advantage of people. Like, what's more important to them is like outing him as being like possibly gay and not like outing him as being like a sex pest, basically.
Refused to address any of the accusations of him preying on young men at Bond. Here's a video of Francis from March, facing off with him at what appears to be the post office across the street from the Bond studio.
Oh, that's nice. He wants me to tell them.
Wait, 1 second.
How I was.
Tell them about you sleeping with your brother's wife? Hello? These people are so... Dude, I'm sorry. These people's family lives are way worse than ours. What's happening? Like, I hear people talk about some of their family life and some of the shit that goes on. These people's family lives are horrible. Are like conservative families just like this? Sleeping with your brother's wife? What? Why are you sleeping with your sister-in-law? Yeah, the girls are fighting. Yeah, JLP is gay. He's also a sex pest, but whatever. He's gay.
Oh, that's nice. He wants me to tell them how I was sleeping with my brother's wife. That's fine. But Jesse...
Wait, that's fine? He's not even like denying it? He's like, sure, okay, I may have been destroying my entire family relationship by sleeping with my sister-in-law. Anyways, Jesse, you're homosexual. Any words for that?
Will you not speak on your homosexual behaviors?
He did
Francis
it.
confronted him again in the back of the building with Armand Martikian in February.
Literally, I destroyed my family reputation and I slept with I came in my freaking sister-in-law. But you do homosexual things. Hobo. Like, what the fuck what's happening? They're built different. He actually doesn't care about the grooming part. I'm losing it.
Capturing it all on video.
Jesse Peterson, I've known you for 25 years personally. Will you come? See, he's not coming over to me.
Will you come?
Will you at least stand there where you feel safe and talk to me? Stand up on your porch with the door open and shout out to me. Why won't you talk to me? I've known you for 25 years. I've accused you of heinous things, and you will not talk to me. You coward!
Francis admits there were also a few clues that should have revealed Jesse was a homosexual, long before he ever found out.
He wanted to see if I was willing to have a homosexual relationship with him, of course, because that's what he was all about. He was about putting out feelers there and seeing who he could have sex with. And it didn't work with me because I had not been molested as a boy. And so eventually I told him, look, Jesse.
Why are you gonna call this guy out? What the heck? They don't even care about each other. What's happening? This guy tells a heartfelt story about how he was abused as a kid. And he was like, yeah, so this Jesse weirdo freak was like trying to get me to do gay butt stuff with him. It didn't work on me because I wasn't one of those weak, broken boys who were molested. Unlike, this guy over here, am I right? I wouldn't fall for that. What is happening? There were signs. Yeah, there were signs that he may have been gay, like the time when he asked me if I was gay, and then it came on my cover when I was asleep. Something very odd was happening. He's doing the meme where he thinks that all homosexual men are molested by boys. Yeah, here's the thing is that like the other people, they weren't assaulted as a kid. So how's that work? The people sitting in the room with you who have the similar stories.
I'm just an angry guy, and I don't like these long hugs and all this stuff we're doing, at night.
And did he stop?
Where he would come into my bed and just lay with me,
He would come into your bed and just lay with you?
Yes. And at one time even like put his hand underneath my underwear to go toward my genitals, right? He never got there because he could see I wasn't getting excited. So he never got there.
Oh my gosh, he's actually he's using this situation to flex how not molested he is and how not gay he is. Oh my gosh. This guy, he's like, wait, now that all these like freaking homosexuals have told their gay little story, it's time for me to flex how straight I am. So he would like lay in my bed and he would like sexually assault me, but then I didn't get hard. My dick didn't get hard. I didn't come. Ooh, he got his big strong man muscles were like around my neck. And you know what? I didn't come. I didn't moan at least once. Not even once. Okay, maybe once, but I didn't moan 3 times. Yeah, I got the softest dick in the bondhouse.
At the edge, because you got to invite the vampire in, is what they say in the vampire movies, and it's sort of true.
The vampire movies?
Even psychic vampires, like Jesse. And so
what is happening?
He would do those kind of tricks, or put his hand around my back and up on my chest and be hugging and all that kind of stuff, just to see if maybe I could. And asking me if how does it feel, and it feels good, right?
Jesse
and all that kind of stuff.
Good.
And I would meekly answer, yeah, it feels good. But only because when you're under that kind of pressure, you just give the answer that he wants, but you're really like wanting to get the heck out of there. You're like ready to fly out of there like a bat out of hell.
Jesse appears to have used every dirty trick in the book to silence him, allegedly trying to have Francis arrested for violating an unserved restraining order.
I will go back to Phoenix and chill out with the relatives like I was doing before, and I'll be back on the 25th.
25th, yeah. Yes. Yes. If it was already served, you had already seen this, you would be wanting to go.
Church militant asked every single victim and witness if they thought Jesse would continue sexually preying on men. And
so here's the thing. And also, why do they say sexually preying on men? Like, you could just say his sexual predation. Do they really not care if he was sexually preying on women? What's with his forehead? Well, chill. He may like be doing drugs or something. I don't know where this guy is. I was gonna say he looks like what would happen if you turned a pug into a human being, but I was like, I don't know. This guy seems like he's going through a lot. Anyways, like one of the worst things here is that he's, if true, like even all of this may not even be true, but it's pretty bad since he owns the house. Right? And he has all these boys and all these crew living in the house. And so I would think that it is pretty, bad to, proposition them sexually because because of the implication. I know I have some people here who've watched Sunny with a Chance. Great TV show, Sunny with a Chance. It's because of the implication. Like if you turn them bound, you could get kicked out of the house. You can get ostracized or something, right? That's the only place that they have to live. They're trying to get their life together, right? So you preying on these people is kind of fucked up to begin with, even if nothing did happen, really. What about
Jesse
this guy?
allegedly accuses these men of harassment, but some members of his own congregation disagree, like former bondhouse tenant Fabian Asensio.
The harassing is just an excuse for...
Why are all these boys from the bondhouse? What's happening? Why were all of these 60-year-old men in the Bussy house? What's going on? How did he get all of them on the Bussy ranch? Is he running a cult? Dude, JLP is running the Bussy cult that Nick Fuentes wished that he had. You know what I mean? He's running the Burrito Ranch. What's with these guys? So there's JLP more like EDP. So there it's JLP's Bussy Ranch, and also Fuentes has a gay compound with a sussy squad in Chicago. How do these guys literally? Aren't I supposed to be the one who they say is running a little femboy ranch or femboy harem, and I have them all walking around with no underwear on around my house doing chores in maid dresses? They're the ones who are doing it. Is JLP okay? No, he's a sexual groomer. He's a sex pest. It seems. Gotta love conservatives making their worst fears a reality. Dude, this isn't your worst fear. I think they just have a kink. It seems like they love it.
Trying to shut people down. Bond has been a nonprofit church for all these years. He's lied and collected a lot of money from that church, from people saying that, he's been a hidden homosexual. There's plenty of evidence for it. There's no reason for us to make up anything. So for someone to be out there in the alley and talking and trying to wake up the employees and say, hey, what are you doing? Why are you still working for this liar? That's totally within our First Amendment rights.
Jim Valerio, longtime donor and friend of Jesse's, also pushed back at his defenders.
And for those of you people who are still supporting this so-called fraudulent, hypocritical, serial predator homosexual, you are going to pay a price for that. That is a stain on your soul when you meet your creator. Period. Cut.
This isn't even the first incident. Jesse was embroiled in a homosexual scandal in October 2020, after his Twitter account liked a gay pornography image. After the tweet was left up for hours, Jesse's account was immediately locked.
That was the issue that we were talking about earlier at the beginning of the segment. Now, technically, I'm pretty sure, if I remember, because I had to go grab that screen cap from a long time ago, If I remember, they weren't actually having sex, but there was, you know, some cheeks were out.
Locked down and set to private. One caller on his daily JLP show broadcast tried asking him about it, and Peterson hung up on him.
Did you lock your Twitter account because you got caught liking a gay OnlyFans post?
Amazing. Do you think I handle my own Twitter stuff?
Oh, somebody else did it? How come you locked the account?
None of your business. What the? Are you a homosexual or something?
You saw gay stuff, so that means that you admit that you were looking at gay porn? Are you gay? Are you a homosexual or something? Why'd I lock my account? It's none of your business. You're gay. You're gay. I'm not gay. You're gay. Okay.
On top of those we spoke to, there were several other anonymous alleged victims Church Militant was made aware of, who refused to speak with us per their devotion to Peterson and his so-called ministry. Jesse continues to deny his own actions to his congregants and his fans, shutting down any victims who stand in his way. For Church Militant Special Assignment, I'm Joseph Enders, Detroit.
You may talk about the men of Gideon.
Okay,
talk about the men of Saul.
All right. Yep. That's definitely something. So all I get from this is he disagrees with our doctrine, and here are some people who don't like him anymore claiming that he's a predator. Well, sure. Like, I guess, but like, would it be better that he hasn't thought through this at all? Does he think that people who like him still would call him a predator? This is somebody calling him a predator, but they like him. They still like him. They're like, oh, I love him. Oh yeah, he's a sexual predator. And a sex pest, but I love him. I love the guy. Does he think that would happen? Yeah, of course they don't like him anymore. Allegedly, he preyed on them sexually. Vosh versus JLP debate when? He's already talked to JLP. You didn't know that? This video's been age restricted? That's really funny. That's really funny. Gonna need some more meat on them bones. Yes, I fully expect my username and religious beliefs will be the main dish of the day for disgruntled fans of this video. So my whole thing is that, like, the amount of people coming out and saying that he did this, I think something happened, okay? Something happened. Everything was just too weird for, like, the little boy Bussy house to not be something that is, you know, worrisome, you know? Even if he didn't, you know, do the sexual assault and harassment that was like alleged, even like making moves on the people who rely on you and like the house that you own, that's kind of that's pretty bad. That's pretty sex pesty. I don't like that. I don't like that one bit. Merrick versus Candace Owens when? No, Merrick versus Blair White. I think that's the fight that we all need. Or I mean, Contra versus Blair. That's two. Yeah, the comment was basically, so they basically wanted it since they didn't stop him. I don't know. These people seem to be like talking out for a long time about him. Heavy on vitriol, short on evidence. If he's legit guilty, hammer away. Dude, listen, for a lot of these guys, it seemed like they were hammered already. You know what I mean? So these grown men who are not gay, just let him pull their trousers down and do whatever with no fighting back. Yeah. That doesn't sound legit. Your normal rape apologia. So you're telling me that you just got like raped and you didn't kill him? Sounds real to me. I think you guys just ran a completely salacious hit piece. I don't buy any of it. This is a heinous hit piece. These victims smell lawsuits. Just wouldn't be surprised if this turns out to be true, but I've learned not to blindly trust people. This is a hit piece. Dude, Jesse's fans are so mad. There's certainly something gay. There's certainly something gay here, but I think that that it's the video's creators, not the subject. Oh, everybody else is gay except for Jesse. Hey, we got a homosexual out here, and don't think we don't know how to weed them out. 26 minutes of ree, that's all I heard. And tell us again how you became so good at sniffing out groomers. Almost as like it takes one to know one. This is actually the smallest brain shit I've heard in my entire life. Amazing. Beta. Didn't see any victims here. I'm an outsider. I heard multiple allegations in this video, but what I didn't hear was any proof. What do you mean proof? Do you want, what are you looking for? Are you looking for like there to be a picture of like JLP coming on their face? Is that what you need? Like JLP eating their ass? Is that what you want to see? Because I gotta tell you, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see it. I'm not gonna look for that. And if it's out there, I don't want it anywhere where I can see it. If I'm gonna be honest with you. Shark versus the state of Kentucky in like a boxing match. I could take it. This is heartbreaking. I love Jesse. He couldn't possibly be a gay homosexual. No, This isn't true. This can't be real. And so ends, so far, the story of JLP, the homo predator, hunting down sad boys and then bringing them onto his bussy ranch. It's a very sad thing, if I have to be honest with you. It's really unfortunate, but I'm going to take a different stance and say that, you know, I think the real problem here is not, you know, gay people. And the real problem here is grooming people who rely on you. It's not good.